You're listening to the Dre Area Sports Show, live on YouTube and X. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Dre Area Sports Show. I'm joined today by Tyler LaRocca. You can find him on X, on TikTok. I think he's on Instagram as well. You can also find him weekdays with Grant Cohen when they do the LaCone LaRocca show. It's a great show that they talk all shit. I love it. But Tyler, holy shit, man. What a fucking game.
Yeah, what a game. What a win. What a win to have.
I mean, it was like back and forth, up and down. Emotions were flying. Everybody was getting mad. Everyone was getting happy. It was a roller coaster of a day. And at the end of the day, the Niners fucking knocked off the shitty Eagles by a final score of 23-19. Brock Purdy was 18 of 31 for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 80.3. Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, was 20 of 35, 168, 1 touchdown, no picks, and had a quarterback rating of 79.2. Between the two of these guys, who played better, Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts?
I mean, so it's Brock because he had the final drive.
Yeah.
They both played really bad, though. I was talking about this on a show this morning with my buddy where we were talking about buzzer beaters in basketball, and we were relating it to football as well. People always use the final minute or 2 minutes to be like, well, that's the reason the game was lost, or that's the reason the game was won, when there's so much other time to do. So, like, that's why with Brock, when everyone's like, oh, my God, you have to admit he's elite now. Like, he played bad. He had a great first drive, horrible the whole game, elite final drive. It's like, no, he's still like, you know, like, I'll tell you what, like, the biggest issue I have with that, right? Or like people are like, yep, this is Brock, like, this is what he does. Like, if he plays like that against Seattle, we lose, you know? And so that's the big thing is I thought it was an amazing game. It was so fun. I think this team's such a momentum-based team. Now you have this, you have Seattle talking shit. You have Fred being able to come back. I feel like it's such a perfect combination of like, you got to win this weekend kind of thing.
They got to win this weekend. Fuck these Seahawks. But look, don't get me wrong. The Seahawks are a very, very good team. Now, when we look at the first game, the game last week against the Eagles, right? We knew the Eagles were a little bit of frauds. They were up and down all season.
For sure.
They were kind of reminiscent of the Eagles of 2022.
Yeah.
2023. When they got knocked out in the first round, they were all dysfunctional. That was the year the Niners kicked the shit out of them at the Link, and then they were just shitty the rest of the season, right? So in this game, they were like, "Well, hey, look, we got everybody back. It's time for us to turn it on and go win a championship, go win a Super Bowl." But what happened was, what ended up happening was, all their inner demons came out immediately.
Yeah,
and sort of what Grant said, and we talked about this the other day. he even said the problem with the Eagles is that they all hate each other. And they do. You can tell they all fucking hate each other. Like, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, I want the ball. And that happens to teams after they win championships, is that they become more about themselves than about the team. Now, defensively, they were not as good as everyone was saying they're going to be. Now, I was saying it early on. I said, hey, look, this is not going to be like Seahawks game. They're going to be able to move the ball. And they did move the ball much better than against the Seahawks. However, there were drives that the defense did stop the Niners. Niners had some offensive drives that stalled. Brock Purdy did throw 2 interceptions. Both of those were bad decisions.
And fumbled.
Did he fumble?
He's the reason we didn't get 3 points at the end of half.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? I don't solely blame it on him because Spencer Burford had to get that block, and the guy just like shook him, went right around him. I was like, bro, come on. But it is what it is. I know you had your frustration with Brock Purdy. I thought at the end of the game, he was clutch.
Sure.
He drove the ball down the field 66 yards. He had the run for the first down. He had, every pass that he threw was on point. And not only that, but he dropped back with a free rusher in Zach Bond running straight at him, no block. And he was able to backpedal, spin, and throw the ball away. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, if that's Mac Jones is not that athletic, he would have got sacked. Fuck, you know what I mean? Because he would have saw him and been like, oh, shit.
Sure.
But and I'm not taking anything away from Mac Jones. Is that's just not his game, right? But we've seen what Brock can do on like a game-winning drive. He can avoid pressure and he can run out of the pocket as well. And both those plays were huge factors in them getting that lead. And then finding Christian McCaffrey in the end zone was just, I was screaming on top of my lungs. Now, the defense, Niners defense, played really well. Mm-hmm. They limited the Eagles, but again, the Eagles have a shitty offense.
Yeah.
And it felt like once they got past their scripted plays, they were just like, I don't even know what they were doing. It was like 3rd and 15, and he throws like a shallow pass to Goddard. He gets tackled right away. I was like, what are we doing? I was like, what are they doing? Like, yeah, it's so anemic. And so when I look at this offense, it makes me wonder, like, hey, look, this is sort of what we saw with the Seahawks.
Yeah, bad.
Their offense is bad. They only scored 13 points, and they're like, oh, we fucking dominated the Niners. And they did defensively. Offensively, they didn't do shit. And they nearly cost them the game when Sam Darnold like fumbled the ball trying to hand it to Charbonnet. Like, if Niners get that ball and score a touchdown, totally different game. Totally different game. Or you just score a field goal.
I will say, the one thing, though, this Eagles game, Brock didn't make me feel any better about the Seahawks game with the Eagles game. He still left a lot of people open. He still wasn't taking what the defense was giving him. He still wasn't taking his checkdowns and his easy yards. And that is all the Seahawks did. All they did was take away the boundaries. So take away his out routes, take away his corner routes sometimes, and bait the middle of the field. And then Mike McDonald basically said, like, Mike McDonald kind of took Saleh's defense. Was like, I'm just going to play soft squat. If you want to take a few yards, take a few yards. If not, then that's fine. And Brock wasn't. He didn't do it all game against Seattle. He had check down after check down after check down, open for 5, 10, 15 yards at some points. Just wasn't looking at it. And then the same offensive struggles we're having with the Eagles. It was both his picks. You had open receivers underneath, completely open, butt naked open. Like, they couldn't have been more like, I am right here. And then he just on stalled drives, you saw the same thing. It was just the second the pocket collapsed, he just was a little bit scared. And it's just one of those things where Brock needs to be a lot better. He is very bad against top-tier defenses. He was very bad against Philly. He's very bad against Seattle. He needs to go back to the Cleveland game plan this week if the Niners want a chance to win. They're not going to win playing like Brock's played the last 2 weeks.
I would agree that against Seattle, I think that they need to find ways to get rid of the ball quick because they're bringing pressure nonstop. Now, granted, in the last game we did not have Trent Williams. That's going to be a huge difference, and we saw that was a difference in week 1.
Yes, Pearsall might be back for at least a drive or two. So.
I hope so. That motherfucker better get out there. If this means that we get Fred Warner back for the NFC title game, then he's got to get out there, dude. The guy's got to get out there. Now, unlike you, I thought Brock played really well because I thought that Brock was out there, loses George Kittle. That was okay. Let's talk about that real quick. That was probably the biggest gut check.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my God, no. And you saw the injury when it happened. Everyone knew it. Everyone's like, dude, that's his Achilles, dude. That looks like an Achilles. Holy shit. I was getting text messages. It looks like an Achilles. So he's gone. So from that moment forward, I was like, trying to win a Super Bowl, even on a Cinderella team, not having George Kittle is going to be extremely hard. That sucks. That's a huge asset you just lost. Now, look, I love Jake Tonjes. I think he's a really good receiver, but he's not George Kittle.
For sure. And my thing is like this. If there weren't so many wide open receivers, right? If it was like, oh, Brock just doesn't have anyone to throw to, I'd completely agree. My issue is in the Seattle game and in the Philly game, when he's making mistakes and when he's stalling drives, he has people wide open. It doesn't matter if it's George Kittle, Justin Jefferson, or Jake Tonjes. They're open because they're open. Like, you need to just throw them the football. And that's kind of been my issue. And that's always my issue with Brock against elite defenses is he gets flustered. He got flustered. And again, here was the thing Seattle did that the Eagles did not. The Eagles, on the final play, what'd they do? They let Brock make a play with his legs. The only time he is ever effective against defenses right now is when he can move. And the one thing that Seahawks took away was they said, we're just not going to let you run around. We don't even need to get the sack. We just need to suffocate you, and you're going to make the mistake. And you're not going to see the open guys. And the Eagles didn't. They would over pursue and give Brock a little bit of running room and stuff like that, where it was just Brock was able to use his legs, where Seattle, both times we've played him where Brock has heavily struggled, they just didn't let him do that. They're like, okay, that's fine. We'll let you throw from the pocket, a collapsing pocket, but we're not going to let you run.
But at the same time, though, when you look at what the Niners did defensively, they did a great job at containing Jalen Hurts. And so going into this game over on the Cover 3 podcast, I was saying, look, if the Niners are going to win this game, and I might have said it with you and I as well, but if they're going to win this game, they have to contain Saquon Barkley, and they have to contain Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Now, that doesn't mean they got to sack him all every time, but they got to make sure he stays in that pocket. And they did that. I mean, and then on that final drive, Jalen Hurts had a shot to run for at least 15 yards. And Keon White got that shoestring tackle, which, dude, that almost saved the game right there. I was like, holy shit. He ended up losing a yard on that, which I think is actually a sack. But I thought the Niners defense came out.
Defense was awesome. Eric Kendricks was great. Garrett Wallow was very good. I like I said last week, I genuinely thought these guys would be better than Bethune-Winters. They proved me right. They were better than Bethune-Winters.
We talked about that. We said, this is an upgrade. Yeah, we thought Kaiser White was going to play. He didn't. I was a little worried about Garrett Wallow.
I was too, but he was great. He was great. And with this game against Seattle, I think the only change they need to make is, yes, we held them to 13. We held them to 13 points. Sam Darnold missed a wide open touchdown. They missed 2 kicks. Technically, we held them to 26 points. Like the way I see it, I'm sure the way Saleh sees it is they should have had 26 points on us. And so I think what he's going to really look at to like tighten up this defense is let's just sell out for the run. Let's really
just stop the run.
Yeah.
Stop the run.
And what I loved that he did, I talked about it on the post show. What I love that Saleh finally did is he did cover 0, press blitz. Everyone's right in front of you in a line, on the line.
Yes.
And he said, Jalen, beat us. Beat me now. Do that against Sam.
Yes.
Do the same thing. Just line up, send pressure, and say, beat me. And because I genuinely think, dude, Darnold, even the Seahawks know he is due. He is due for an ugly one.
He's due to shit the bed.
He hasn't thrown a touchdown or an interception yet to the Niners. Neither one. He's not done either. They have been very careful with Darnold.
And that's that stat right there you're talking about. Seahawks have scored 26 points combined versus the 49ers this season. Sam Darnold hasn't thrown a touchdown in either of those 2 games.
You can tell they are very scared to try and let him make a play. Rightfully so, because Darnold is, I mean, dude, even in the game, he was trying. He threw the interception to Renardo Green that if he didn't take as long a steps as humanly possible, he had a pick. And then Yetur Gross-Matos had a fumble hit him in the mouth. Like, they were really close with the limited amount they were letting Darnold do.
And not only that, but Tatum Bethune in that game had an interception that he hesitated on, ended up being a completion to Cooper Kupp. But when you watch the film, and Johnny Dell had pointed this out, if that's Fred Warner, or probably even Eric Kendricks,
he
jumps that route and intercepts it. And so Sam Darnold didn't even see him. You can see Sam Darnold was staring right at his receiver, like, I'm going to go there. You know, and then Bethune kind of shuffled his feet and was like, oh, shit. So, again, I think that getting more of the experienced players on the field is going to help them. Now, here's the question I have. We saw how good Garrett Wallow did. I mean, the guy didn't just play well. He played amazing.
Yeah, he played really, really well.
He was stuffing holes. He was good against the
run.
He
was watching Saquon well.
He made that shoestring tackle against Saquon when he clearly he overran him and Saquon made a move, but he grabbed his foot and he held him down for almost a no gain or not a loss.
Siegel was also better than Jair Brown.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what it is?
There was that one tackle.
He's faster.
That one tackle on 3rd and long where the Niners were about to break down on 3rd and long, and he didn't over pursue like Mustafa or Jair would have done. He just sat there and then went for the legs, took him down, big stop. And I was like, both of the other safeties would have over pursued, and that would have been a first.
Not only that, but there was a play where it was a pass off to the right side to Devontae Smith, and he was one-on-one with Siegel. and Siegel wrapped him up and then spun him and slammed him on the ground.
Yep.
And that was third down. I was just like, dude, that was fucking great. Even Tom Brady was like, what a tackle.
Yeah.
And
Siegel
I'm
looked
sorry.
really improved. Good for him, man.
He looked more aggressive. He looked more decisive. And to me, he looked faster. I mean, that's one thing that Jair Brown is not. He's not fast. And that's why he gets beat over top a lot.
And he's
So-
not, and he didn't get picked on. They tried him a couple times. The Eagles tried him a couple times because they saw him come in like, oh, wait, this is the guy that's horrible.
Yeah.
And it didn't
That's
work.
horrible. Yeah, it didn't work. But we talked about this last week. We talked about how Saleh needs to let these corners play press man.
Yeah.
And they did that from time to time. They did it especially on third downs. And it totally paid off. On that one play, up to this out, nearly had a pick six.
Oh my God. I wish he housed that. We really do. I don't know what it is. Our corners need to hit a jugs machine, man. These guys can't. All our DBs,
They
our
can't catch.
safeties
Like, ah!
can't catch. Our corners can't catch. Like, damn, bro. I don't know how
They
many
put
drop
themselves
interceptions we have.
They're in the right spots, and they get the ball, and they're just like, ah!
I don't get it. That
Shit.
should have been 6.
That should have been 6, man. But I thought the corners played really good in this game. And, I thought that De'Amon Lenore, first half, he was just all right, giving up some plays. But once they started doing that press man, you saw a difference. You saw them bumping the receivers at the line. And that's something that I wanted to see more. We both talked about that. Have them bump those receivers and be on them right at the line of scrimmage to throw off their timing, and it paid off. And
I really hope we're working on those misdirections. The Eagles gashed us for it against Lenore, like early, where Saquon had like that 30-yard run. And then that's the one Charbonnet gashed us for and scored a touchdown
that was
on.
the same thing.
It was the same exact setup, same exact run. I really hope we're working on this a little bit. Like, all right, guys, stop over pursuing, please. Like, set your edge.
I want to say it was the C gap that in both plays they left open.
Yeah.
And so then Lenore had to either pick the C gap or he had to set the edge. He picked the gap, and then they went to the outside and ran for a big gain. Charbonnet ran for a touchdown. But again, that's a play, too, that Mustafa's got to make that tackle. He's got to bring him down. Instead, he just kind of bounced off his leg against Charbonnet, and he scored.
I like Mustafa because he's young, but again, I'm going to keep reiterating until I'm blue in the face. We need to get some new safeties in here next year. These guys are ass.
Mustafa is good, but he's not good in pass coverage.
I would say Mustafa is like, I wouldn't even say good. Like, even against runs, like, he gets a lot of tackles broken. He over pursues a lot, and he misses tackles because of it. Like, he is very good when it's very straight up. I just have to hit this gap, and if you run through that gap and I meet you in there, I'm putting you on your ass. Other than that, though, if someone's making a move on him, he almost always gets slipped. Like, and that's my issue with him and Jair Brown, is like, if anyone puts a move on him, like, they're just like in the dust. And it's like, dude.
I want to talk about Eric Kendricks. This guy balled out. I mean, I think that having an experienced linebacker, a leader out on the field, to me, seeing him make tackles after tackle after tackle inspired the rest of the defense to do the same thing. Bethune, look, like, I love Tatum Bethune, but he misses a lot of tackles. He over pursues. He makes a lot of mistakes. He's young.
Yeah.
We saw Kendricks not make those mistakes. We saw Eric Kendricks stuff the gaps for runs, and he did everything right. Now imagine, oh my God, I don't want to say this out loud because I don't want to get my hopes up. Imagine having him and Fred Warner out there at the same time.
Yeah.
Now
And
you got
that's
tackling machines.
And that's another thing is I said it. He had an interview. They interviewed him a couple days ago after practice or whatever at the locker room, and he was like, they were talking about Fred Warner and how excited. And Eric Kendricks just like chuckled, and he's like, guys, we got to pump the brakes. We got Seattle this week. Yeah. We got to relax. He was telling that to reporters. And having a veteran leadership like that, like Tatum Bethune, yeah, he'd probably be hyped. Like, let's all go, blah, blah. Eric Kendricks, it seems like he'd even do that in the locker room. Like, all right, guys, we get it. Fred's coming back. Fred's here. He's practicing. But we still got to handle Seattle. We can't get all excited that Fred's going to be back next week because there might not be a next week.
Exactly.
And like, even an answer like that from him, I was like, this is why I wanted him on the field, because he would rally the whole team. Like guys, whoa. Like, Upton Stout, Siegel, what are we doing? Why are we celebrating? Fred might not even play again.
Exactly.
We still have to beat Seattle.
And that shows you how he was out there in the field during the game. When they would break, they had a leader and an experienced player calling the plays for with the mic and just leading them out there. And so they were like, yeah, this is great. It's not just a bunch of kids out here doing this, or young guys, I should say. Here is that interview you were talking about.
Talk about next week, right? We got Seattle, man. Let's get.
If he can potentially be back for that, though, winning.
We got to beat Seattle, bro. We got to beat Seattle. Let's just pump our brakes now, everybody. We got to beat Seattle this week. You know what I mean? We obviously played them last week. It's this is what meaningful football is all about.
I think having
it's like that calm, cool veteran. Like he laughed it off at first, then they asked again. He was like, "No, seriously, like I'm not thinking about that at all. Like no, I'm thinking about Seattle." Yes. And I think that's the difference between this team, because even Kyle and Brock have said it. Like before the teams, not to knock them, like we were always thinking, like, we got to just get to the Super Bowl. Let's just get to the Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. And Brock and Kyle and now Eric Kendricks are all showing that the same message is just echoing through the locker room. Like, stop thinking about anything else but what's happening now.
Yeah.
Because we're going to lose games doing that. We're going to lose. I'll tell you right now, if this whole team's like, let's go, we're going to get Fred back next week, we will lose in Seattle. 100%. If that's 100%. The thought process going into this game, you're going to lose. And I'm sure Fred's echoing the same thing. Like, guys, no. Stop thinking about me. We need to beat these guys. Like, they're talking shit, which I also think is good. I think Seattle's like locking the team in, talking so much shit.
So much shit.
And then players and everything. It's perfect.
Did you see that stupid fucking account on social media who was like, the odds are stacked up against us again.
I retweeted it.
Yeah, I was like, what is he talking about? You're the number 1 seed.
I was like, you guys are the Super Bowl favorites against the least Super Bowl favorites.
I'm telling you, it's compensation because deep down
inside,
they're
shitting their pants.
They know that Sam Darnold is Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0. It's flat out. Like, he's gonna make a mistake. If he doesn't make mistakes against us, he'll do it against a better defense.
I said that to Seattle fans because they're like, I don't care. We want Rams. We want Niners. Like, you guys do not want the Niners, and you guys know you don't want the Niners. Nobody wants to play Kyle Shanahan after a week, like 2 weeks in a row. There's no way. Say whatever we want about him and his negatives. That dude he's not an easy out.
No.
It's not like, oh yeah, we beat him a couple weeks ago. He's just going to do the same thing. He is not going to do I think Juice said it or Eric Kendricks said it. One of them said it and they were like, oh yeah, do you think this game's going to look similar? And they're like, nope, it's going to look the complete 180 opposite. It is not going to look at all similar to what it was on week 18.
No, it'll be completely different. And I think that defensively too, I think Saleh's going to change some things up. He's playing with a team that's inspired right now. And like we said before, I think having Eric Kendricks is helping them out because you have an experienced linebacker out there. I mean, he nearly picked off the ball to end the game against Seattle.
But he can't catch either, man. We need someone with some hands.
But
Tonjes at safety.
But here's the good thing about having Kendricks is that he's fresh. The guy hasn't played all season.
And Wallow.
You can tell that those guys were fresh out there. They didn't have ailing injuries. They were just like, yo, let's do it. So here's my question, though. If D. Winters is able to go, do you start D. Winters over Garrett Wallow, or do you just roll with Wallow?
I'm rolling with Wallow and Kendricks. That is the best linebacker duo we have had since Fred's been on the field.
But do you think that that worked against the Eagles because they were well prepared and they were just ready for that game? Do you think they could do it again, or do you think Seattle will try to exploit Eric Wallow? Because I saw Eric Wallow in pass coverage, and I didn't think he looked that bad.
Because that's my thing is Garrett Wallow's a better pass cover than D. Like those. Okay, so the thing that, oh my God, irked me so much about D. Winters is every time they throw a running back out to the flat, he is just watching it. He's never there. Garrett Wallow, they were trying to throw Saquon to the flat over and over and over and over. Garrett Wallow's right there. I'm right here. Like Saquon's faster than him, quicker than him, but he's like, I'm going to keep you in front of me, where D. Winters was just nowhere near them. Like, even the pick against the Colts, I'm genuinely convinced everyone's like, oh yeah, he was baiting Phillip Rivers. D. Winters wasn't baiting Phillip Rivers, bro. He saw the flat late again, which he's done all year, and just sat in his position again, like he's done all year. and Phillip Rivers was thinking, "There's no way he stays there," and then threw it. And then he got
Well,
a big
and
text.
also too, I think Troy Aikman called that out too. Was that when Tyler Warren ran that route, he turned his head before he turned his body, and so that signaled to D Winters like, oh, he's gonna turn around and catch the ball, and so he jumped the route. And that was the first thing he said. He's like, that's the problem when you have a young guy, is that he turned his head before he reached the end of his route, and that just tells the defender, I'm about to turn around and catch a ball. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of things that went wrong there. I mean, he made a play. Don't get me wrong. He made
For sure.
6.
But I keep Waller. He looked good. There's no
He
reason.
looked really good.
There was never a play where I was like, damn, if we had D Winters there, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly. There wasn't like a fuck. Where's D when I need him? Let me find Garrett Waddle. He had 11 total tackles and 1 pass deflection. Eric Kendricks, 10 total tackles, 7 of which were solo, both of which had pass deflections. Obviously, Kendricks came at the end of the game. You know what's crazy too is that I was watching a breakdown from my buddy Johnny Dell, and on that last drive, the Eagles called the same play twice in a row.
Wasn't it just 4 verts?
It was so there was a play in which he threw a short comeback route to Devontae Smith, and then the very next play they ran the same play over again, and that's when Eric Kendricks jumped over and covered where Devontae was at, and that forced Jalen Hurts to go elsewhere. And I forgot how the play ended up, but shit like that, like they ran the same play. They went back to the well again. And you're just like, what are you doing? You know, it's dysfunctional. But Eric Kendricks recognized that, and he covered that receiver so that it wasn't a quick pass to get a first down. Now, having them both out there, I mean, I thought Wall looked great. He made great tackles. He stuffed the run. He looked like he was very good at following his assignments. And to me, he looked faster. He looked like he was faster on his feet. He was getting to where he had to get to without problems. Now, could Seattle try to exploit him? Probably, but I think surprisingly enough, I think Garrett Wall looks better than even Luke Gifford, who's not even going to play. But still,
Thank God.
Gifford can't cover anybody. And you know, last week I was joking about Wallow saying, "Oh, does he swallow?" No, he doesn't. He spits that shit out. And you can tell because he was stuffing their runs, man. I was like, dude, this guy's great. I am a little on the fence though about starting him over Winters, but I think really when it comes down to it is that Wallow was healthier. Winters is still banged up, and so to me, if you can get 2 guys out there, Wallow and Kendricks, that are healthy, that are fresh, and they're ready to go, I think you got to go with Wallow and Kendricks. I really do.
Yeah, I don't think D Winters is that good. I think this is probably the last year D Winters. I think his contract's up after this year, and I think they're just going to let it go. He wasn't very good. They've hyped him up the last 2 years, and he's just not very good. He's fun. He's energetic. He can hit hard. But he's horrible in pass coverage. He over pursues.
And that was one of his strengths, too. He was supposed to be really good in pass coverage because he had a plus 80 grade by PFF last season for his pass coverage. This year, it's gone down.
Yeah.
And
he's always hurt. That's another problem. He was hurt last year. He's hurt this year. It's one of those
Always
things
hurt.
where it's just bye.
Yeah.
You can find another. We just found Garrett Wallow, who's better than D Winters.
Garrett Wallow was a special teamer on the Broncos.
Yeah.
So already to me, if you're telling me, hey, this guy's a special teamer, this guy already has speed. Because otherwise, if he's slow, he wouldn't be on special teams. Because so he has great pursuits of the ball, and I think he played really well. Obviously, look, if Fred Warner comes back next week, and let's say we make it past that, here I go. I'm jumping ahead now. I think obviously you got to start Fred Warner. I mean, why wouldn't you?
I think if the Niners win this game, they win the Super Bowl. Like that's I am wholly confident if they could beat Seattle, they're winning. Like there's not a team that could stop them.
If you beat Seattle, right, and you beat this monster defense, what other team out there besides the Texans have this kind of like suffocating defense?
Yeah,
it's either the Texans or the Broncos. And I'm sorry, I love Broncos defense. Drake Greenlaw, Hufanga, all those guys, DJ Jones. But like you were saying, I don't know if Bo Nix is going to be the answer to get them to the Super
I also
Bowl.
think CJ's terrible. He's not doing anything either. Like, even if they make this, again, the scariest teams are in the NFC. It's the Seahawks. I guess it's the Rams. But again, a Fred Warner return game in Levi South, like you're cooked. I don't know.
This team reminds me of like the mentality this team has, it reminds me of like the San Francisco Giants. Teams where it's like, hey, these guys shouldn't be able to win this. They should be one and done. And they keep on winning and they keep on finding ways to win because they just don't want to fucking give up. And I think that having these injuries so early in the season has actually benefited this team because when Kittle went down, they weren't like deflated, like, oh God, now what do we do? They were just like, fuck, he's down. It's fucking terrible. Fuck that. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like they're so jaded and so used to players going down that they were just like, all right, Tonjes, you're up. And I think Tonjes is going to play really well because so far as a receiver, he's fucking really good as a
good
tight end
hands.
receiver.
He's just bad at everything else, but he's got great hands.
Even the interception that Brock threw when he was trying to get it to him, he's got to do a better job at stopping and coming back to the ball and fighting for that. Like Kittle would have fought for that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh,
Tonjes has great hands. He is horrible at everything else. Every other aspect of playing football, he is bad at.
Like if he's wide open and you hit him in stride, he's gonna go. Yeah. But on that play, he had to contest that. Instead, he was just like, "Oh shit!" It was like, "Damn it!" Yeah. That was a tough throw. But I think if that was Kittle would have contested that. The other one, Brock got pressured. Didn't see Juwan Jennings because Jalen Carter was fucking all over him. And so he went the other way and he threw the pick, and that was all on Brock. That one in particular, the first interception by Mitchell, that was all on Brock. That was a bad decision.
Brock needs to be better. He's been bad. The last 2 weeks, he has been bad. He
made some pretty incredible throws, though. I mean, look, I know you're critical of Brock and his play, and that's fine. But I think that Brock, not having all the superstars, not having Ayuk, Debo, not having George Kittle for most of this game, not all the game pretty much, not having Ricky Pearsall, him doing what he did with the guys that he had, I thought was phenomenal. And I think, again, if he's a shittier quarterback, he doesn't lead that team down the field to score a touchdown, then maybe they kick a field goal and then they lose the game at the end, because if they kick the field goal, the Eagles would have hit a field goal and they would have won the game. But the fact that they scored a touchdown and he had to move up in the pocket under pressure, that was huge.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, he needs to be better against Seattle. Like, he can't play like that.
Absolutely. Seattle wants you to turn the ball over. Sam Darnold is asking you, please turn the ball over so I have an easier touchdown.
So I can do it too.
But I thought the Niners defense played really good against the Eagles. They played good against Jalen Hurts.
Salah's gonna.
They shut down Saquon Barkley. I mean, yeah, he ran for 100 yards, but it was so sporadic that like you only had a couple of chunk yard runs, and then that was it. So they took him out of the game, and not only that, but in the third quarter, they completely shut down Saquon Barkley. He could not run the ball. C.J. West, Alfred Collins were dominating on the interior, and he could not get big chunk yardage from the ground, and that forced them into a lot of third and longs, which the Niners were able to stop them. And so that's what you got to hope for when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is so run heavy that if you take the running out of the game, with a different guess maybe, whatever. If you take the run game away from Seattle and you force them to become one-dimensional, and you have Lenore guarding Smith and Jigba, let's look at what Lenore has done this season against Smith and Jigba, or even the past 3 seasons. Yeah. But this year in particular, week 1, 0 yards allowed, 0 TDs. Week 18, 0 yards allowed, 0 TDs. Yes, he had the pass interference. That was like, fuck. But if you look at
people got to move on from that stuff too. Like, and with Renardo, their physical corners, they're going to get one. Like, Renardo should have gotten one on Dotson. They're physical corners. They're always going to have their hands on someone. That's just how they play. Putting them out there, they're most likely going to get a holding call or a PI call at least once a game. Now, if he does it like 2-3 times, I'm like, dude, all right, let's chill. But, it's what you get, right? Would you take one PI and then 0 yards and 0 touchdowns allowed, or would you rather have him allow a touchdown with no PI? In my opinion, if he's going to score on you, might as well PI and give us another chance at stopping him.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to score, so he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to pull his arm.
I don't blame him at all.
It's like in basketball, when they say, hey, good foul. That was a good foul. Because you're just like, hey, you stopped him from scoring. Fuck
he burnt you, bring him down. I'd rather him not score a touchdown. Because we stopped him. We held him to 3 after the PI. That was where Darnold missed the touchdown. Or no, I think that was the downs. They went on downs.
Yeah, on downs.
So he saved points.
That was huge. And then we went 3 and out. It was like, fuck.
Yeah, but like, I mean, regardless, it's like, hey, it was either 7 or 0. I'll take the 0 all night long.
So when we talk about Lenore, do you think that he will be successful against Smith and Jigba this time around? In the same fashion.
Yeah. I think,
think so.
also
I think so.
I think also the thing is Lenore doesn't shadow him. So Njigba is gonna move away from him when they're really trying to scheme up for him. I highly doubt they're gonna scheme up plays specifically for Njigba when Lenore's on top of him. I'm hoping we can do more press man and let Demo follow him a little bit. But yeah, I think why wouldn't he? We play soft squat. It's really hard to beat people over the top in a soft squat. So.
Well, but like we were saying, like if on third down they're playing press man, that's gonna like he's all about his route running. You throw him off his timing, that's gonna fuck everything up. And then Sam Darnold's he's gonna freak out if he can't find Smith and Jigba. And I think he's gonna end up going more to his tight end Barnes. And I'm sorry, that guy's not a world beater. It's like, here, take the ball quick,
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. So let's talk about some news real quick before we get down and breaking down the our predictions for Niners Seahawks. But I wanted to run this by you because this really fucking pissed me off. The Patriots of all fucking teams, they're the ones who got Darrell Taylor, a defensive end who the Texans let go. I was hoping the Niners would make a claim. They had the number one waiver priority. They could have grabbed this guy, and I would have. Like, hey, why not? Like, this guy's healthy. He used to be a Seahawk. Let's get somebody in here to help us out in case somebody goes down. But they didn't do anything. I was like, come on, Niners.
I agree. I think kind of the Niners mentality is seemingly like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And like, the chances of him actually making an impact this week are slim to none. So they wanted to grab the tight end just in case in the safety.
And I get that, but like if one guy goes down, if Gross Matos hamstrings fucking rip like rubber bands, I mean, you got to have somebody that can step in next week or whatever if we were to advance. So I thought for sure, hey, if we beat these guys, NFC title game, Super Bowl, you got to have some more depth. This guy will help out. And that's why I was looking at. But apparently they were not, and he's going to the Patriots. Now, the Niners did make some moves today so far this morning. Yeah. One of which is they brought in Derek Forrest. He's a safety, former Washington Commander. And again, with the injury to Jair Brown, to me, this tells me that Jair Brown probably is not going to play.
Thank God.
Yeah. I think you start Siegel, and I think Pinnock becomes your backup safety, and they wanted to bring another body on in case they needed more help at the safety position. So there was that. They also brought in this guy, Colton Dowell. He's a future reserve, so he's for next season. They also signed a tight end as well. I forgot the guy's name. That's to help fill the position of this guy right here, Braden Willis, who they promoted to the active roster now that George Kittle went down with the injury. I mean, Braden Willis can't block.
Yeah.
He's just there to help out. That's great. And when we look at where is it? And then, of course, there's the big news, which is Fred Warner. Now, we're all hoping Fred would come back this week, but it looks like they're shooting for the NFC title game. Mm-hmm. So if he comes back, look at it this way. The Niners, let's say they go to Seattle and they win this game, right? And let's say the Rams win. You don't have to leave the Pacific West Coast the rest of the season.
Which is so nice. So nice for them.
If we go to L.A., that's essentially Levi's 2.0. Levi's South. And imagine having Fred Warner there as well. Dude, that's going to be fucking
And
epic.
I will say, Derek Forrest isn't a slouch. He's not bad. He's
not
solid. Like he definitely could replace Siegel or Mustafa if they're playing bad.
Yeah, but I think when you bring in a guy this week, it's more like,
he won't this week, but I'm sure if it was like they're playing awful, he could at least slot in where it's like I'll be okay. But yeah, no, I think if they beat Seattle, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Brad Graham put out a tweet saying that he believes that Fred Warner is going to come back this week.
I also do, but I haven't heard anything. Dude, it's just hard for me to think about Fred and who he is and his personality and to be practicing all week and for him to be like, yeah, no, I can't go. Like that just doesn't sound like Fred.
It doesn't sound like Fred. It feels like, and really, if you're John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, you're like, hey, all week, all we're gonna say is we're hopeful he comes back next week.
Oh,
next
bro,
week, next
could you
week.
imagine Seattle if they heard, oh, psych, Fred's back. They'd be
On
like,
Friday?
"Uh-oh,
Can you imagine
the
they're like,
boogeyman."
Fred Warner's gonna start? Like, oh shit!
They're here prepping for Eric Kendricks and Garrett Wallow, and then they hear, oh, Fred Warner's here. Oh, fuck.
Well, and see, this is what hurts so much about losing George Kittle is that if Fred Warner came back, you're essentially now you're just down Nick Bosa. I mean, Michael Williams as well, but I'm saying like out of your superstars,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
now you're like, fuck, we lost another one, but at least we may get one back. I feel like, and people are saying no, but I really feel like there's like a 70% chance that he's going to play this week.
I would
You
say there's
saw
a
him running
7%.
around out there. What did I say?
I'd say so from Kyle's thing, he says, we want him out there. Fred wants to be out there. Apparently the issues is the doctors. Like the doctors are the ones like, all right, guys, we got to relax. But again, I completely agree with you, man. I feel like, again, just knowing Fred's personality, I feel like I said this last week. I was like, if they open their practice window, there's not a shot in hell this dude is going to be like, I can't play if I'm practicing.
Right?
I don't know, bro. Seattle, like that's a Fred game, dude. Like that is a game where Fred's like, bro, I want to be out there now. Like I am not waiting. I don't care that Eric Kendricks and Garrett Wallows are playing well. I am Fred fucking Warner. Put me in the game, please.
He's got to, I mean, look, if he's anywhere close to 100%, you put him out there. Fuck it. Just go. And look, if he hurts himself again, it's not like, what was he going to do? Tear all of his tendons again? Ah! No, it's like, come on, man.
I'll take an 80% Fred Warner over any other linebacker in the league. I
And not
don't
only
care.
that, but like you can sub him out if he gets tired, he gets worn down. Okay, Wallow go in, Winters go in, and then you have more of a rotation at that position. But having him as your Mike linebacker, it would be such an inspiration to all these players. Like holy shit! And
Yeah.
it would feel like, dude. Not only do we have him
It would
back,
feel like it's destiny. Like, all right, we got to win this Super Bowl, bro. We got Fred back. Like, and I'll tell you this, like, I am so sad George is out.
ugh,
But if the
Horrible.
football gods made us trade George Kittle for Fred Warner, I'll take that trade. I'm going to be honest.
and here is George Kittle going into the in for a
We love
surgery
you,
today.
George.
He's in great. He's like, hey, yeah, all right, yeah. He's in great spirits. Losing him definitely sucked.
That
it
hurt.
was-
That
it-
hurt my
that was
heart.
horrible. Yeah,
That
I was
one
like,
hurt my heart
no. But
I mean, I was doom posting the entire game. I was like, it's fucking over.
yeah, you were. I hate this quarterback. All this stuff. I was like, shit.
It's
He's
over,
fired
dude.
up. But they found a way to win. And it wasn't just the offense found a way to score points. It was the defense found a way to get stops.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that, like, to me, you're seeing the secondary come together. Stout, Lenore, and fuck's his name again? Number 8, our cornerback. Anyway, the secondary is coming together, and they're starting to make plays. Bernardo Green, God, I was blanking. It seems like they're all coming together right now, and they're playing
Dude, Upton
really
Stout
good
looks
football.
ridiculous right now.
So good.
He looks so good right
And
now.
if you notice too, like Chase Lucas has been a healthy inactive every week. Because look, we all love Chase Lucas, but when he was out there, I think it was against Seattle when Upton Stout had a concussion or whatnot. He looked terrible. He was over pursuing. He was just lost, and it was a big moment for him.
yeah.
So there's that. Okay, so let me ask you. You know, we've been talking a lot about the Niners, talking about some of the moves that they've made, but Robert Saleh, he did state recently that he has interviews lined up this Sunday. To me, he's gone. Especially if they win,
That's
if
not
they
even a
win this
conversation.
game. If they win this game, it's 100%.
I mean, regardless, there's like what 9 openings. He's gone. Like
gone.
it's not even a conversation. Or
Yeah.
it's not even a debate. He's gone. The Niners know it. He knows it. I think that's why he is postponing meetings till the off day, is because he knows he's going to be gone, and he's just trying to stay as focused as humanly possible on the task at hand, which is, but let me get my job done here.
Well, yeah, because he's like, let's do it on Sunday because we might get eliminated on Saturday, so then I'll have more time to do whatever. And yeah, like you said, it's an off day anyway.
Well,
so
and
it's-
if they win, it's an off day regardless, whether they win or lose. Like he's free. So
If you
Yeah.
had to choose one location that you think that he will go to,
Baltimore or Pittsburgh.
see, we talked about this on social media. I don't know about Pittsburgh only because they don't have a fucking quarterback. I don't think he wants to start over with a quarterback because he did that in New York, and it was really at his demise.
I would say yes, but it's Pittsburgh. This team has had 3 coaches since 1961. They're not going. They just dealt with Mike Tomlin, run through about 5 or 6 quarterbacks in a row. I don't think they're the franchise that's going to bring him in and be like, if you miss on your first quarterback, we're going to bring in Aaron Rodgers to ruin our entire franchise.
I know.
So
That's
I
not the
don't
answer. God.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, my assumption, my brother's a huge Steelers fan. Apparently, Adam Schefter said the other day that LaFleur is a ghost candidate for Pittsburgh. LaFleur and Malik Willis. But it's just Salah's mentality and like vibe fits Baltimore and it fits Pittsburgh so well. That those are, I would be actually mind blown if he doesn't end up in one of those 2 spots. If he doesn't end up in one of those 2 spots, maybe Miami. Other than that, if I was him, I'd just stay on San Francisco.
I think if he's going to go anywhere, it's going to be Baltimore or Atlanta. And I say Atlanta because
Atlanta would be good too. Yeah.
Ulbricht's already there. He's already worked with him. He knows him as his friend. And they have a lot of assets on defense. You got James Pierce Jr. You got all those guys that they drafted. And you could see, I mean, they finished the same record as the first place team in their division. The problem is they just did it too late, and they weren't in the playoffs. Now, you do have to figure out your quarterback. I mean, you got Michael Penix, but I don't think he's the answer. So that's,
He
again,
is terrible.
he'd have to figure out a quarterback.
Yeah.
But
I think I just I don't know why, man. Baltimore seems to make so much sense. Saleh, McDaniel reuniting in Baltimore just makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, because I mean, really, you already have let's say he went there and they got like a McDaniel to Mike McDaniel to be the offensive coordinator. Now he doesn't have to worry about the offense.
Bro, they're ready to win tomorrow.
Yeah,
like
all he has to do is worry about getting this defense to be where it needs to be at. Because this season,
and there's so much talent there.
Yeah,
like he has Roquan Smith, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton. Like, bro, he has so much talent.
The only thing working against him is that they might want to go with an even younger
offensive guy.
Yeah, like well, I mean, also there's Shula he's the defensive coordinator, but Shula, they might go with him.
Okay, can I be honest? Why does everyone want Shula? Their defense is dog shit. Like, it is so bad. I don't understand. Like, everyone talks about, dude, the Rams defense has so much talent on it now. Okay, the defense is horrible. So why does everyone want Shula? Because his last name's Shula?
I think so.
Like,
that's what it feels like, at least.
It's
there's
nothing.
There's one more location I think is still a dark horse location for him to go to because they haven't made a move yet. But I feel like if the Bills get knocked out in the playoffs, they're going to fire McDermott. And that would be a good spot for him. He's already got Joe Brady there. All he has to do is get there and turn that defense into a juggernaut, and then they're ready to win right now, too. You have arguably the best quarterback in the league in Josh Allen just being wasted right now. So, again, he's got choices.
I mean, I think for him, if I was him and I was his agent, I'd be like, we're going to put all our eggs in the Baltimore basket and pray. And then if it doesn't work out, then we can interview with other teams like the Atlantas. And because I think I don't think any coach besides John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are going to get hired are going to sign a contract until that Baltimore position's full because they all want it.
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to, I know a lot of people are like, the Steelers are the best spot. No. Baltimore is the best job to get right now.
Yeah,
because you'll buy yourself time at worst, right? Because the team's already ready to win. At Pittsburgh, like you said, you are going to be in at least a retool, if not a rebuild.
Absolutely.
And in my opinion, Pittsburgh's just bad, man. I said this on my podcast with my brother because we have like a Niner-Steeler podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I hated all their signings. DK Metcalf for George Pickens was like a downgrade almost.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey's too old. Darius Slay was terrible. Signing a 31-year-old edge rusher to $40+ million a year is terrible. Their roster's a mess, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a big fat mess, and I think that partnering, getting Saleh there to help with their defense. I mean, look, if you could look at what the Niners did defensively this season and say, look, dude, this guy lost all of his star players, and his defense is still keeping them in games.
Yeah.
And if they, I'm telling you right now, if they win on Saturday, it's over. He's leaving. There's no coming back.
I don't think he's coming back regardless, personally.
Yeah.
Just because, again, if there wasn't like literally, I think there's 9 vacancies
That's a
right
lot.
now.
That's a
And you
lot.
and I both agree if the Bills get knocked out this weekend, there's going to be 10. That's a third of the league looking for coaches. If you're a high prospect like a Saleh, Flores, this is your time.
See, and the thing with Flores, like, he's a great defensive coordinator. I don't know if he's a good head coach.
Yeah, he's a dick.
He's a dick, and I think if he goes to a head coach, they'll be like, fuck this guy. He'll do the Jonathan Gannon, you better turn on that fire in your belly.
Dude.
We're here to win. Like, oh, fuck this guy. You know, I mean, who knows? But so I think when you look at a team like the Ravens, like the Steelers, you want to get a guy who's a well-rounded coach. You don't want to get a guy who's one-dimensional. And I think that, you know, at least with Saleh, he has that experience of being a coordinator and a coach. And that's why
Isn't it weird? Saleh's considered like an old prospect now.
Isn't that crazy? But I think that like locations like the New York Giants, no. I don't think he goes back to New York.
I think the Giants apparently, well, Ricky posted this even though it's been all over every bit of news. The Giants are 100% honed in on Harbaugh. He's going to their facility today. My assumption is he's going to sign a deal. Apparently they love him and he loves them. And this was a thing, like I said, about like a person like Tomlin, where I could see him taking the job like Arizona and not Saleh. Because if someone like Tomlin comes into a place like New York or Arizona, who's been just ass for years, they're going to worship the ground you walk on and give you a ton of time. Whereas, like, say Saleh got hired in New York or Arizona, they'd be like, oh, well, here it goes again. We still suck a year or two into this. We're going to have to let him go. Whereas if Tomlin or them did it, like, it's part of the process.
Yeah, well, especially if you compare the New York media to the Arizona media. I mean, I think if Tomlin went to Arizona, he'd be on vacation the entire time. He's like, oh, this is great. I can have these guys fuck around and no one's going to really fucking ride me in the locker room. This is great. I think getting Mike Tomlin in Arizona would be great for them. You have an established head coach. But yeah, I think that Harbaugh is going to end up in New York, which I think, you know, they have there's a lot of talent there that was underutilized.
The AFC North is just, I think another dark horse for Saleh is the Browns. Like, I know no one really wants to touch.
I don't think so.
I know nobody wants to touch that job, but I feel like the AFC North is like Saleh's calling. It's defense, hard-nosed football, hit him in the mouth, super violent. Like, but here's another thing working against Saleh is with all of the offensive coaching success, like the Ben Johnsons, the Kyle Shanahans, even though in my opinion, Kyle is getting completely outshined by Saleh, but Kyle's the head coach, so he's getting all the credit. The Sean McVays, you have all these guys that are the Sean Paytons that are successful offensive coaches. Mm-hmm. And there was a stat someone posted that the last 7 Super Bowls, 13 of the 14 head coaches are offensive coaches. The one coach that wasn't, his name's Bill Belichick. So, like, it's one of those things where it's like, that's pretty hard to pass up an offensive coach for a defensive coach just because that's seemingly where the league's going.
And here's my thing, too, is that when you look at the past 2 times Niners have been to the Super Bowl, they've gone up against Steve Spagnuolo.
Who's so good.
He's always had Kyle Shanahan's number. Kyle's never been good against Steve Spagnuolo defense. If he gets there again, if the Niners gets to the Super Bowl, they're going to be going against an entirely different team. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if a team like the Texans made their way back there just based on their defense alone, because they just suffocate you. Yeah. But I think they're playing. Who are they playing?
They play Buffalo.
They play Buffalo. So
I don't think they beat Buffalo.
You never know, though. You never. Know
okay, so here's my thing: is the issue? All right, no. They play New England. They could beat New England.
They could beat New England.
So just to flex real quick, my playoff predictions so far are 100% correct. And I had Houston beating New England and Buffalo beating Denver. And the reason I have Buffalo,
I had the Rams beating Carolina.
No, like I'm talking for this week. So this week, like I have my AFC championship is Houston versus Buffalo. And the reason I have Buffalo is because Buffalo, I don't know if many people know this, because kind of under the radar, they have the best pass defense in the NFL right now.
Yes.
And so when you're talking about Buffalo versus Houston, like, yeah, that Houston defense is so good. The Buffalo defense, CJ Stroud just turned it over, like had 3 turnovers and 5 fumbles. Like, bro, into a better passing defense than that, this dude's going to just not know what to do with himself. And at that point, it comes down to, who do I trust more, Josh Allen or CJ Stroud into good defenses? I'm going to have to go with Josh Allen.
So let's do that. Let's do a quick breakdown of the NFL playoff picture, and then we'll do our breakdown, our final score predictions of the Niners versus Seahawks.
Yeah.
But let's start off with the first matchup and give our prediction on this one, and that is Bills versus Broncos. Who do you have winning this game, and what do you think the final score is going to be around?
I have the Bills beating the Broncos, and I have it probably about like 21-17, something low scoring. Actually, no, I probably have it 21-10 Bills. I really think Bo Nix is terrible. Like, genuinely, I think he is absolutely horrible.
So in this game, I think that it's going to be a low-scoring game. The Broncos are going to give Josh Allen a hard time,
Yeah.
especially trying to run the football. They're one of the best defenses in the league. They're really good against the run. They're really good on third down. They have arguably the second best ranking on third down defense in the league. And I think that's going to be a factor in this game. If the Bills lose this game, McDermott gets fired. But I worry about Bo Nix and being in this big situation.
He is terrible. He is horrible. He's Jimmy with arm strength.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say Broncos win this game. And they're going to win this game by a final score of 17-13.
Okay. I can see it.
It's going to be a low-scoring, weird game like that where the Broncos defense just doesn't really let the Bills get back into it. And Josh Allen shits the bed, and McDermott gets fired. Let's go to the next game. Texans versus Patriots.
So, again, when I predicted it, I said the same kind of thing. The Patriots just don't have enough to beat an elite defense. We saw them against the Chargers. They could not move that ball, man. No matter how, their defense got 30 pressures on Justin Herbert. They were constantly off the field, and the offense just could not get anything going. That's why when they're playing an even better defense in Houston, I don't really think they stand much of a chance. I would probably go 24-13. I'm going to go Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to do Houston. I think their defense suffocates Drake May. I think it gives him a hard time. I mean,
that defensive line's crazy, dude.
They went against the Patriots played against the Chargers, and that was like a snooze fest. It was like, oh my God, what are we doing here? Justin Herbert was just running around, getting smacked around. I was like, what's going on? Jim Harbaugh was on the sideline like this, like. It's just kind of like, what are you doing, dude?
Greg Roman's terrible. I know that experience.
He got fired already.
Well. I know that experience all too well, man.
Yeah, that's his disciple, and he got fired. So I'm going to say Texans win this game on the road. Defense is too much for Drake May. They don't really let them, get going. And I think that the Patriots start to let up defensively because they're just on the field for too long. I'm going to say Texans win this game 21-14.
Yeah.
Okay, so next matchup is Rams versus Bears.
I have the Rams 38-31. I think the Bears are going to get behind early like they've done all season, and they're going to try and make a comeback, but it's just not going to be enough. It's going to be 38-31. I think they are lucky to even be here.
They are.
They're just lucky they played the biggest choke artist in the world in Matt LaFleur.
The way that the Rams played against the Panthers, it makes me believe that the Bears have a chance because they played like
for
shit.
Sure. Yeah,
they played fucking terrible. I was like, dude, they're gonna lose
for sure.
And they found a way to win the game. So I think again, Rams defensively are massively overrated. Everyone talks about Braden Fisk and Jared Verse and Ford, but in reality, like this is not a juggernaut of a team. I think Bears win this game. They find a way to get this done.
My issue with the Bears is they don't play for 3 quarters. They're constantly putting themselves in holes. And against an offense like the Rams, I just don't see them being able to dig themselves out of something like that. Like, that's a hard hole to dig out of when the guy you're giving the ball back to with a lead has Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Like, that's a rough one.
But at the same time, you got Jalen Johnson out there. Both their corners are really good. And we saw against the Panthers, dude, their corners were hella good.
Yeah.
They were picking off Stafford left and right. They were giving him a hard time. But I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say Bears win this game. Final
Yeah, I
score
like it.
of 31-28.
I also just want the Rams matchup. I want the Niners to beat Seattle, and I want to play the Rams. I want to beat them to go to the Super Bowl.
And then last but not least, 49ers versus Seahawks.
Damn. The
Third
matchup
matchup.
predictor is Seahawks have a 60% chance of winning. That's the biggest one besides the Bears game.
That sucks.
Damn.
I know they're actually favored by, God damn, now they're favored by 7. It was 4.5 and it was up to 6.5. Now it's at 7. All right.
Please surprise us with Fred, man.
I know. If Fred starts, that 7 goes down to 4.
If Fred starts, my prediction is Niners win by multiple scores.
Okay, so where do you see this game going? You think Niners win this game, or you think that this is the end of the road?
I'm going to say the
San
same thing I
Francisco?
said against the Eagles. My head is the Seahawks should win this game.
Yeah.
I don't know how they lose. Brock Purdy does not know how to play into Mike McDonald. He has no idea what he's doing when he plays against that dude. But my heart, I have said every time they've won a game this year, I don't know how they're doing it, and they're still winning. My heart says the Niners can pull it out and get a Sam Darnold stinker. Because here's the thing, Darnold is due for a stinker, but he's also kind of due for a pop-off. He's kind of due for both. Actually, no, he had his pop-off against the Rams. He's due for a stinker. Niners win. Let's get our lick back, Dre. What do you think? 24-3, Niners get their lick back.
Yeah. 24-3, huh?
Yeah. Ass whooping.
Damn. At Lumen
In
Field?
Seattle, at Lumen Field, Purdy's going to hit the Dougie on the logo like T.O. against the Cowboys.
I'm going to say Niners win this game because, why wouldn't I? I'm in the same boat, though. My heart is saying that they can win this game.
Yeah.
But my brain is saying they're probably going to lose this game. But if I
I've
follow
been
my
saying
heart,
that all year, bro.
I mean, we said it last week. We were like, it seems like they should probably lose this game, but they won. So I feel like this game is going to be somewhat similar to Philly. I think the last time we played them, Niners had played short weeks for like 3 weeks in a row. They were
playing
beat
a
up.
short week this week, by the way.
Another short week again. Yeah. So the rest is going to help them, but to me, rest for Sam Darnold, I think that's a worse thing, because like when he has to stand around and think about it for too long, that he trips out. So I'm going to say Niners win this game. Final score 24-21.
No, let's do 24-3. I don't want a close.
You can do 24. I'm going to do 24.
Here's the thing: Niners have been winning these close ones all year. I just need a break. I need a break for my heart.
Actually, you know what? I'll say this. I'm going to lower the score, because they have been low-scoring games. I'm going to say Niners win this game 17-14. That's it.
Fuck, I would be shitting bricks in that.
But still, I agree. Okay, I agree that if the Niners beat the Seahawks, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's destiny. If they don't, I am.
Well, then the season's over.
Going to be crying. I will say, if they don't win, they really do need to think about a reset. Like
I think
a reset should be on the board.
Regardless if they win or lose, at least we knocked off the fucking shitty Eagles. Oh, I loved it so much. But
honestly, I don't care. I do it. They have to win this year, man.
They have to win. And then just to give you some hope, most wins by a 49ers quarterback in playoffs, Brock Purdy has 5. He's number 3 on that list behind Steve Young and Joe Montana. He passed up Jimmy Garoppolo, Kaepernick, John Brody.
Yeah, if he wins the Super Bowl, he would tie Steve Young for most wins by a 49ers quarterback in the playoffs.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Oh my God!
Clutch,
could you
dude.
imagine?
I'm telling you, Brock Purdy is he's the kind of guy where when the chips are down, he's clutch. His processing, his mental ability is really good.
I hate that though, because what if they go in and get blown out by Seattle? Can you still say he's clutch? Because he didn't have a clutch moment. He just got his ass whooped all game. I hate that. I was like, in my opinion, clutch is the entirety of the playoffs. The whole game is clutch. You have to be clutch all game. It's one game. It's one game to determine whether your season's over or not. In my opinion, clutch is you can do it all. You could do it well the whole time. Like, yes, being able to do it at the very end, that's, yes, icy clutch, whatever, amazing. But bro, if he shits the bed in Seattle and people are like, well, he's still clutch. I'm like, no, he's not. He played bad against Philly. He played bad against Seattle. He played bad against Seattle in week 18. In my opinion, he wasn't clutch. Like, that's not clutch. And yes, you can say
I thought he played good
against
against Seattle week 1. I mean, he led them down the field for an eventual
after
game-winning
playing
drive.
bad all game, though.
But
That's my thing.
But that's a
like,
really good defense, though. Like, if that was a shitty team, I would have been like, dude, come on, Brock. You have better than this. But that's a really good fucking defense. So if he pulls it off like he did before, like he did in week 1, then guy's clutch. I'm sorry. Like,
for sure. If he wins,
now,
yes.
Remember now, if you're watching a previous episode of this show, Tyler did say that if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl, that he's going to buy a Brock Purdy jersey. So
I have so many deals with this. It's already like Grant said, if I win, I have to do like a TikTok of doing the Dougie with Brock's jersey on and like all this. I have a lot of deals on the table right now. I'm gonna have to do a lot of things for Brock Purdy.
There's a lot going against me here.
Like, and a lot of people are like, you want them to lose. I would love nothing more than to do a celebratory Brock Purdy Dougie on TikTok because they won Super Bowl. I wouldn't care at all, bro. I do anything for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. The last 2 weeks from Brock have not inspired me very much. I get it. Recency bias. His last drive was great, but he looked very not good all game. He looked very not good all game against Seattle. I
don't think so. I thought he looked pretty. I mean, there were some passes that I think the wind affected.
Here's, I guess, the positive turn about it.
Go ahead.
Is like we're saying Sam Darnold's due for a stinker. Brock Purdy's due for a good one. He's had 2 real stinkers. He's due for a good one. He's due.
But against Seattle, that's the game he's going to go for 5 touchdowns. I don't think so.
Not 5, but bro, give me 3 and no turnovers. This is going to be
a tight game. That's why I said 17-14. It's going to be close.
These are the types of games elite quarterbacks prove they're elite. This is the type of game Brock Purdy can either prove he's elite or just another Jimmy Garoppolo. This is where we can say Seattle's a good defense. Sure, they're all good defenses. We're all in the playoffs. We're playing against good teams. That's how playoffs work. That's why elite quarterbacks make their bread, though, is because they can go out in rough conditions on short weeks against good defenses without everything you got, and you can perform. You can still manage a win. That's what makes you elite. Going out there and losing and having every excuse in the book, okay, then you're not elite. It's that simple to me. Like, it's still, regardless, with all the injuries, you still have Christian McCaffrey, and you still have one of, if not the best damn play caller in the NFL. This dude play calls people open more than anyone in the league. So, yes, we have injuries. Yes, losing George sucks. But you know what? As long as Kyle Shanahan's calling plays, as long as Christian McCaffrey's on the field, you have a chance. And if you're an elite quarterback, that's all you need. So, let's go, Brock. I am rooting for you.
Okay. This is so stupid. I saw a post saying, breaking news, the Eagles have promoted Big Dom as their offensive coordinator. No, but real quick, as we wrap things up, I just want to share this. Fred Warner just spoke to the media since having his practice window opened. Let's take a look at this. And
he said he's playing.
Question was asked at my that first meeting with the doctor to kind of see how the bone was healing, and I put that question out there to him. It was probably a few weeks after my surgery, and he said, in a different world, would I be able to come back? And he said, yeah, it's a possibility. Those first 6 weeks when you're not in weight bearing, those are all kind of the same, and then after that, it kind of, you can manipulate the way that you rehab going forward aggressively, safely, of course. To ultimately get back to this point, and so that's kind of what we did, and still got a little ways to go before being fully cleared to step out there in a game.
Is that the biggest thing this weekend?
We're taking it day by day.
Wait.
I think they said last week they weren't going to open my window, and my window's now open. So, we're taking it day by day.
So, what is your expectation?
Okay, he's day to day. I'm going to say it right now. He is day to day. He's going to fucking play.
Dude, Oh, please play Fred. Please, man. I don't even care if he just checks in for a play. Just to fuck with their heads, activate him.
Just be on the sidelines. In
Bro, that's what I'm
uniform.
saying. Like, just to fuck with their heads, I hope we activate him. Regardless if he could play or not, activate him. Just to throw, like, bro, could you imagine being Seattle that, oh, fuck, he's active? Like, just for that,
Yeah.
just for the mental game, activate him.
And that was posted
Man.
12 minutes ago as well. So it just happened.
Please play, man. Please. If he plays, Dre, oh my God, dude.
It's going to be epic if
I
he
will
plays.
be delusionally confident. I'll already start tweeting Seattle fans like, you're fucked. The boogeyman's coming. Dude.
Oh my God. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think we'll know by Friday if he's going to play or not. But guys, that's going to do it for the show. I just want to remind everybody that this show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use promo code DreAreaSports to save up to $20 on your first purchase over at SeatGeek.com. We're brought to you by BetUS. Use promo code DreAreaSports, and they'll match you up to 125% on your first three deposits when you use promo code DreAreaSports. BetUS, it's where the game begins. And we're brought to you by Power Brand Systems. Use promo code 300POWER to save up to $300 on your first purchase over at Power Brand Systems. They will build and develop a website for your every need. Check out my website, which is DreAreaSports.com. There are memberships available on DreAreaSports.com. You want to see more of their work? Go to John Chapman's website and go to Johnny Dale's Football Academy website. They built both those websites as well. The proof is in the pudding. Check out Power Brand Systems. Use promo code 300POWER and save up to $300 on your first purchase of Power Brand Systems. And guys, that's going to do it. If you want to support the channel, make sure you go over on Patreon. Join the Patreon. I post links to all my streams on there, and also go over to my website, which is DreAreaSports.com. And become a member under Dre Area Sports. They start as low as $1, and it's a great way to help support the channel. Tyler, we'll find out what's going to happen this weekend. Will Fred Warner play? I think he's going to. I think he's day to day.
I'm with you, bro. I've been saying it for weeks. I said if he's able to, like, he's got to go. Come on.
But even if he couldn't play, the Niners
They
would say,
have
hey,
to act-
don't
I
say
think-
anything.
Yes, I think regardless, you activate him just to keep it ominous.
Yeah.
Like, Kyle loves mind games, bro. Just activate him. Don't say, is Fred going to play? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he feels come game time, but he's active.
We won't know if he's going to play or not until it gets announced that he's been activated. And that'll come on like a Friday. It'll
I
be like,
straight up say activate. Even if it's like, you know how they do the game day inactives? No, activate him. Keep him active the whole time so they don't know until they see the defense walk on the field who's playing.
yeah.
Because you know that changes your script. If you're throwing to Fred Warner or if you're throwing to Eric Kendricks, that completely changes your script.
Yeah. And I think that if you do that, you got to have Kendricks and Warner out there as your two linebackers. And then Wallow can be,
Man, that would
Wallow,
probably be
Winters.
a very slow linebacker core.
That's the only thing that was that. How fast is he right now? Because he's,
Yeah.
I mean, at first he'll be flying around, but then he'll get tired. 'cause he'll be like, oh shit.
How juiced would you get first play pick six Fred Warner off Sam Darnold?
That'd be great. That'd be fucking great. Oh my God. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the show. We have 177 watching right now. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to not only Tyler LaRocca, but to this channel, which is Dre Area Sports. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow my account as I go live multiple times a week. This is a big week. Niners, Seahawks, divisional round. None of us, I'd say none of us, a lot of us didn't think that we'd be able to get this far, and we did. Will Fred
Why?
Warner play? I think he will. I think he plays. I think he plays.
Why not us?
Why
Why
not
not
us? Why not us? Guys, we'll see you guys next time. Peace!
You're listening to the Dre Area Sports Show, live on YouTube and X. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.